And now, after years of planning, sweating, and going broke, here is the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
I'll alert the media.
Why they would give this man a podcast is anyone's guess.
Then there is what could only be a bizarre coincidence or something else.
Welcome to the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
Country music and fine moonshine. Finally, a podcast that lets it all hang out.
Let's level with America.
Got your boots? Ready for some whiskey?
These boots are made for walking.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
And now, the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Hey everyone, Jim here, Boots and Whiskey Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We have Rob Leines on the show. Rob's doing some cool shit, man. He's got a great sound. He's kicking ass. He's grinding. He's a road dog. Like, everything about this dude is exactly what you want to see in somebody in this industry, right? We get to see him open for Whiskey Myers over the winter right before Christmas, and that's how we kind of like teamed up and did this episode. We did this episode back in February, so some things might be dated. If it is, I apologize for that. But nevertheless, right, regardless of when we actually record these episodes, so when they get put out, the message and what we're talking about still resonates, whether it's the day we put it out or the day we do it or months later, right? And we have all of you to thank for that. So thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time and listening and watching or doing whatever you do. Rob's a good dude, man. He's a good egg. The music is raw and authentic, and I love that, right? We don't get enough of that. We don't get enough, we just don't get enough of it, and I love it. So anyway, we're just going to shut the fuck up here, and here it is, Rob Leines. We hope you enjoy. We haven't been doing much concert-wise, and that's part of the time of the year. My schedule is kind of crazy. There's just shows that haven't kicked my ass to go see, to be honest with you. So, but we got some coming up, and some things to do. So stay tuned, enjoy. We're gonna start putting out more videos like we did the other day with the Treaty Oak stuff. Start putting out more of those kind of things. I don't know. We're trying, man. If you're watching this and you want to, sponsor us, help us out, reach out. We'll work with you and, get some shit going. So sit back, relax, enjoy. Rob Leines. Cheers, guys.
I am.
Coolio. Well, man, thanks for being here and coming on.
Heck yeah, man. Appreciate it.
It was nice to see you not too long ago.
Yeah.
And meet you and say hello. And, we're going to get into all that. But before we do that, tell the folks who you are, what you're doing, how you're doing,
Hello, my name's Rob Leines. I'm doing pretty good. It's cold outside.
You want to come to New England? I'm sure it's colder.
It might be. St. Louis is pretty cold.
Yeah.
They're sunbathing down in Texas right now. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, no shit. So, no, go ahead.
Yeah, it's the past 2 years I've been there. It's like, yeah, there's two cold winter days, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Now, where do you come from originally?
Georgia.
Okay. Now, What made you make the move to Texas?
It was just centrally located as far as touring purposes and a whole bunch of other stuff, and just made sense for me at the time. Yeah.
Now, did you move there for music, or was there other things?
Yeah. I mean, I moved there for the central location of, you can pop into the Midwest, you can go east, you can go west. I'd lived in California, Georgia, Arizona, but I didn't really kick music off until I was out west. But it's a lot to travel.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Now, when did you start this whole musical journey you're on?
Full time, probably 2021, and then so 8 years minus the 2 unspeakable years.
Yeah.
Every we all went back to doing other shit, I guess, or nothing at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, so in the last, let's argue, what are we in 26? In the last 5 years, right? Is really when it started to roll.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was I kind of got a good kickoff right before all that shit, 2019 and up to February 2020, and then after that it was game on.
Yeah.
But toured with Whiskey Myers, where we met in 19, and then top of 20, I think, and so it was going good until it wasn't.
Yeah. Now, when you get that call to go on tour with Whiskey, like, does it surprise you? Like, are you like, do you get that like level
Yeah.
of like imposter syndrome? Like, I don't belong here.
It's a nice call for sure, but it doesn't feel like I don't belong there.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, back then, yes. I mean, that was a tough time because I was welding on the side, working in a bar, doing shit gigs, and then out of nowhere, I got a call, and it was super cool.
Right. Right.
It's like, oh, someone notices when you feel like no one else notices.
Well, like that's what the question. My next question was going to be like, do you ever like ask like, how the fuck did you find me?
Yeah. Well, there's agents and politics involved in all of it.
Right.
Which going to a mixer was a good idea at that time, I guess.
Right. Right. Now, other than you opening for Whiskey, like where I saw you and stuff like that, like what else have you done?
I toured with Dwight Yoakam for a couple years, and that was really fun. And then mostly just kind of headlining tours or like opening up for bands similar to Silverado, bunch of stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it's a weird thing because I don't feel like we're a power trio normally, and there's places that we fit in, but it doesn't seem like we fit in.
sure.
We're just kind of doing our own thing.
Right. Right.
Which,
now, when you're on the road with somebody like Dwight, is that almost like a nightly education where you're learning a lot in a short amount of time?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was with them in the Mavericks, and it was just, you learn so much, just how to act and what to do, and then at the end of the day, you just do your job,
Right. Right.
So
it's
it all
funny.
kind of sinks in at first, or it
Yeah.
sinks in.
I gotta imagine, doing the way you do it, like, yeah, it's a job, right? Like, this is what you're there to do, right? But a lot of that, when it comes from the Mavericks or from Dwight, like a lot of that must have to rub off a little bit, because
Definitely.
I know, like, as like having like a regular quote unquote job, right? The people I work with and all that, like some of their shit rubs off on me. Like it's just natural.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say the work ethic and everything else was instilled through construction or welding or whatever, but it just translates. It's the same deal. And then there's 45 minutes to an hour where it's not your job anymore. Just
Right.
It's what you want to do.
Right. Right.
Everything else leading up to it becomes a job, or it is a job rather. But
it's funny that we talk about the Mavericks now with Raul being gone, right?
Yeah,
because that's one of those bands where I always had an opportunity to see when they came up here and never took it for some reason, and I'm so pissed off at myself looking back now.
Yeah.
what was that like being?
I mean, Raul it was brief encounters, but he was always very genuine and awesome, very
Yeah.
very cool, down to earth. Their whole camp, yeah. I mean, it was surreal.
Now, was it the
It's
same way with Dwight? Like, was it just brief encounters too?
yeah, we talked a few times on the bus and just hung out. But yeah, I mean, he's a superstar.
Right.
There's a time when you just kind of stay out of the way.
Right. Right.
You go, you show up on time, you do your job, and then you stay out of the way. And if you're asked upon, then you go. you know, it's
Right.
that kind of thing.
Now, was that the same way with like whiskey? I know you guys have had a longer relationship, but like, is that
No,
the same kind of-
those guys are awesome, man. Yeah, they're also very down to earth. Super super good guys, and they're rock stars.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, for what you're doing, where does it all come from? You know, influences, like what made you decide to pick up a guitar and start writing and singing songs?
Well, I moved out west to Weld Offshore, and I was working there, and then I did a few open mic nights, kind of as a dare, just to do it, and then that's how it all started. I was in a metal band when I was in high school, so I played guitar since I was 16, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a metal band called Ides of the Abyss. We never played one show. And I was 18 my senior year, and everybody in the band was in their 20s. But I wrote all the arrangements and didn't have to sing at all.
Now,
But that's where it all started.
why didn't you ever play a show?
That's a great question. Just never. That was my first initial introduction to starting a band. It's like,
Okay.
oh, people have lives.
Right.
Everyone's got their own thing going on. They'd never buy me beer. I was like, well, buy me a beer. No. Yeah. Fucking losers.
Yeah. Now, was it kind of like that, like scream metal, or was it like
No, it was death metal.
all right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I was
Hilarious.
there's no singing. Don't sing. Pick,
That's
pick, yeah. Pick one or the other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, so how do you go from metal to, more or less country music?
Well, shoot. Yeah, I mean, the solo stuff I do is country, but you got to see the power trio. It's so it was hard for me to do those shows because everything is stripped down.
Right.
So I could only select a few songs. Everything else is very riff oriented, But yeah, going from that, I mean, grew up on blues, southern rock, classic country, but also love metal. So it all intertwined into what the songs that I write now. And the new song we're putting out in March is definitely going to be interesting. So much
Interesting in what way?
it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's very, like, I got to stretch before I play that song live.
Now, is it heavy, like sound wise, heavy lyric wise?
Absolutely. Heavy sound.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like you could either you start a mosh pit or two step,
Really?
Yeah.
Now I'm very interested in this.
Yes. Stray Dog is what it's called.
Yeah.
I wrote it after this little thing. Can't see her. Say hi. Because we were touring so much, like, oh man, you're working out there. I was like, no, I'm just trying to make a living so my stray dog can eat. And I was like, bing. There's a song.
Yeah. Now, is that how it usually comes to you, or do you have to really work at it?
Absolutely, yeah. It just usually pops in my head like that. Or somebody says something clever, and I write it down. Or, God forbid, I come up with something clever. 40% of the time, I come up with something clever. 60% is just listening.
Right.
just listening to other people talk.
Now, when those moments come up, right, and somebody says something, you're like, "Hey, there we go." Like, do you have like something in your phone where you just throw it down and?
Oh yeah, I write it down for sure because it's
Now,
usually in one ear and out the other.
yeah, right, sure. Now, do you have like a day or a time where you like go back and sit down and look at those things, or is it just like a?
Yeah, that's a interesting question because when it's right, you got to do it.
Right,
When it's not, you do something else.
right,
I don't because I don't want to treat it like I clock in and clock out. There's a lot of
right.
people that are very good at that. There's a whole little Nashville thing. You clock in, you songwrite, your song swap or whatever, and I never. It could be, yeah. Maybe I could treat it like it's fun, but I don't want it to feel like a job.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
days it feels like a job, and there's days it's fun. But for those 90 minutes, that's the fun part. Everything else leading up and after's a job.
right, right.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever, when you are on the road, right? How hard is it, or is it not, to go from the hustle and bustle of getting to a venue, sound checking, yada yada yada, and then then it's go time, right? Like
Yeah.
how do you transition with all that?
That took time and just doing it. Um, there's things where, you have family stuff happen 5 minutes before you're supposed to go on, or a girlfriend breaks up with you, or vice versa, or whatever, everything. And then you just kind of turn it all off and go into show mode.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, it took a lot of time, and there's still things that mess with and yeah, but just doing it. Like
Now,
I've been off a month now, just working on a new record and doing all that. So it'll be weird we might actually have to have a rehearsal.
right.
When you tour so much, you don't have to rehearse it much.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. Now, is it hard to get back into it when you're off for such a period of time?
No, I don't think. No, no. The first show might be weird, or solo stuff is always pretty easy.
Yeah.
Um, and then with the band, it takes a minute. You know,
Yeah.
takes a few songs. Like, oh boys, we haven't played this in a while. You know.
Now, do you think, when people come to see you and it is a first show in a while, like, do you think it's more of a you see it or hear it? Because like, I mean, I know me, right? Like, I think I'm just so enamored by the whole situation. Like, I don't pick up on those nuances where it's like, oh, you can tell they haven't played together in a while. Like, I'm like, I just don't give a shit. I'm like, I'm psyched to be here.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know?
Yeah, I wish I could channel that same thing. Little things get in your head, but yeah, there's little nuances or stuff, and you're self-deprecating afterwards. Like, damn, I missed that lick, or could have been cleaner. But when you're on fire, you're on fire, and it feels
Right.
good.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what the highs are high, the lows are low. But
oh,
when it's
sure.
high, it makes it all worth it.
Right. Now, when you're on the road, like, we're talking about the solo stuff you were doing with Whiskey beforehand. Like, was it easier having somebody up there with you and kind of going back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, Bones and I, we'd played a few festivals together. We'd met a few times, but man, we hit it off, and we did a few shows leading up to the Whiskey Meyer shows, just to kind of get the feel of it. So we
Yeah.
marketed it as a song swap in Ohio and golly, somewhere else, Kentucky maybe. I can't remember. Anyways, but yeah, it was immediately we just clicked on that. So it was really fun to have somebody else up there to bounce off.
Right.
But even being up there by yourself is super fun too.
Yeah.
But I would say with having someone to song swap with, you kind of take it all in when you're sitting there and listening to your friend play and then just observing what's going on. And when we do the power trio, it's so fast, and I'm singing and playing lead guitar and doing all this stuff, and then it's over.
Right.
But when your buddy's playing, you can just kind of look up and take it all in. This is cool.
Yeah.
So I was very grateful for that. So it was good having that.
When you song swap like that with whether it's Bones or whether it's somebody else or whatever, right? You're on the road with whomever, right? Do you ever have those moments where you have a minute to stop and take it all in and be listening to somebody else's song and be like, son of a bitch, I wish I would have wrote that song. That's one of those songs I wish I would have wrote.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever said that about me, but I definitely feel that way about other people for sure. And just just watching other people do their craft is pretty cool.
Now,
And
do you bring some of that into whatever you're writing next or doing next? Like, oh, I was just on the road with so and so and I saw or heard this. Like, I want to maybe implement that, or do you just kind of stick to what you always have done?
yeah, I mean, you find inspiration from other people being awesome for sure, but
Yeah.
I never really gravitate to doing someone else's thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times I don't even listen to music at all.
Really?
Yeah, on drives, I'll raw dog the drive.
No
And
shit.
That's when I write. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Now,
write lyrics.
how did I? You know what? I don't think I could ever do that. Like, especially the way guys like you travel. Like, I don't know if I could do it in pure silence. Oh, you know what? I say that I might be able to.
Yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And also, I'm obviously focused on the road unless I'm writing down lyrics on a pad of paper. Just drive with your knee.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I can't do that either. My stupid ass would flip my car. That's for sure.
Nah. The Sprinter's top heavy. You'd be fine.
Yeah. So when you guys are in, on the road, the three of you and all that, how I would assume if you're on a long run, it starts to get a little tense.
Yeah, there's times. I mean, I've got a pretty close group of folks that we play with, and man, I used to be all tense and tight. It was the biggest thing ever. It's if everyone's doing their part and doing their job, it's like there's no need to stress about all that.
Yeah.
And there's little things we all fuck up, and it takes time to get a group like that and you get used to each other and what bothers other people. And my problem, I'm always trying to keep the morale up.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, miss their girlfriend or misses this, miss that, I gotta go home, blah, blah, blah. It's like, just try to keep it loose. And then when we show up, do your job.
Is it hard to do that? Is it hard to be the ringleader like that and try to keep people motivated when it is a long run?
Yeah, there's times, you kind of put your own personal stuff aside and do your deal and keep it up, and then go into solitude when it's all done.
Right.
I mean, I haven't really been home since November 9th.
Damn.
Yeah. Up here in the wasteland of Missouri.
So what's in Missouri other than St. Louis and?
Yeah, so I'm in St. Louis now at a good friend's house, and I'm recording with that. Whiskey Myers Run kind of inspired to redo a lot of the back catalog of I'm going to do at least 18 songs. So I'm 15 in now. Going back in the studio tomorrow and doing the rest of it. But
Nice.
yeah, just
Now,
yeah. I'm Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what was it that inspired that, like to go back and redo it?
Oh, I hate a lot of them.
Okay, that's fair.
and then that run with Whiskey Myers, just redoing it, doing some of the songs I didn't like the recording of, and yeah, it was. I'm pretty excited about it. Not gonna lie,
Nice.
because you do the rock and roll stuff, and then sometimes it's just fun to strip it down and let people know you're a songwriter. You have words to say, not just riffs.
Right.
Because the power trio is an experience in itself. You're not necessarily maybe listening to the lyrics, and I take pride on the shit that I say.
You should. Because it's it's funny because I was talking to somebody about this the other day where a lot of passive music fans, right, will go to a show or listen to a band and just put it on and not actually listen, right?
Totally.
And like that to me drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, when did it become background?
Right.
Like
Right.
as a kid, I'd listen to an entire record, and those days are done.
Right.
I mean, the mass.
I don't think they're entirely done. I mean,
not for everybody, but the mass population, I feel like.
Right. But like the bands and the artists that are putting out full albums, especially the bands and artists that I like, it's hard not to sit with that album for a few days and digest it and all that. I look forward
Absolutely.
to shit like that. Like it is the best.
Yeah. Or have your peers put out a record. I mean, I listen to my friends' records when they put it out, just from start to finish,
Right.
Not only for support, but just curious.
Yeah.
What's going on? What are you thinking about?
Right.
How's that going?
Right.
Like
perfect example, like when Whiskey put out Womp Whack Thunder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they had put out a couple of songs beforehand. One of the songs I didn't care too much for, I'm not gonna lie. And then like I listened to the album front to back, and even the song I didn't care for much, like after going back and listening to it in its entirety, it started to become a song I actually enjoyed because it made sense within the
it all made sense once. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's an art to that too.
There is.
I mean, putting out your hits on the record, all of them, and then have, we all have kind of flab we need to get rid of, right?
Yeah.
But they're telling a story. There was a strategy to that,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's cool about the entire record,
Right. It's funny you mentioned about being a kid and listening to records, right? I remember probably one of the first albums I ever listened to start to finish, and a lot of this is not all of this is my parents' fault, was Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Oh yeah.
And like I remember being like fucking probably like 11, 12 years old, singing every word to that song and like feeling it like I had any idea.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? But it's like, even now at almost 39, like that album, like I listened to that album over the summer, start to finish again last summer. And it was like, holy shit. Like it almost hurts how some of those songs are so relevant as an adult.
I mean, that record in entirety, there's so many layers. You have to listen to it multiple times. It's like watching a really good movie.
Yes.
3 or 4 times, and you're like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
Right. I didn't get it the first time.
And that's just like, one of maybe a song off a record, just one, and I mean, you listen to the entire thing, you're like, oh wow, I get it.
Yeah.
I get what you're trying to say. You
Yeah.
know?
Right. Exactly. Now, for you, when you were growing up, what were those albums? Like, who were those people that you're listening to their
Oof.
albums front to back? And
Man, it ranged from Pantera, Dahlia Murder, Lamb of God to R.L. Burnside, Muddy Waters, Skinnerd, Molly Hatchet. All of that together, I was kind of mixed. But I was really inspired to play from all the blues guys,
yeah.
and then Black Keys, their early stuff. I was like, oh, you can be a short white dude and sing with soul. I'm gonna try that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you always wanted to sound like the old black dudes. It's never
Right.
gonna happen. But then
right. The Black Keys are a band that I never really got into, like, and I wish I had. I mean, I guess it's never too late, right? But like, they play shows up here and it sells out in minutes, and it's like I'm like, what am I missing? And then I listen to a song or two and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm missing. But like I don't go back to it for some reason. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, their first records were really cool, and the story was actually cool because Dan Arbach went over there to the drummer's house to record with his band, and they never showed up. So the two of them, he's like, "Well, I can play drums," and so the two of them just recorded that first record together.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, the band never showed up. Let's just do it anyway, and then that's how it all started. I mean, they have different members now to play some of the keys and all that stuff. But
yeah. But imagine being the guys that were supposed to be in that band and didn't show up, and then look at what it's become.
I never even thought of that, but yeah, absolutely.
Like,
damn, I fucked up.
Right. Like, because they're Nashville guys, right? Aren't they from Nashville originally?
They're from Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they're Nashville now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, that's the other thing. That's the other wild thing I find about Nashville is that, a lot of it's not just country music anymore, right?
No.
And, you get people like the Black Keys that come in and, say they come from out, they come from there, right? Or whatever, right? It's just so interesting, and then you see like somebody like Justin Timberlake, right? Who's from Memphis. Like you'd never think that. You would never put those things together. Like the industry in music in general has so crazy that, it's all mind-boggling on where people come from and all that.
Where'd they come from? Where'd they go?
Right.
Yeah, it's everyone's got a story, I mean, that's the whole point of it. It's just to tell your story or tell a story that resonates with other people. And I come from a blue collar background, and so that's kind of where it all started. I would sing while I was welding, and my fire watch was like, "Man, you sound pretty good." I'm like, nah. And then here we are, sitting in the trailer in St. Louis on a podcast talking about music.
Right. I mean, it's crazy the way, it all happens.
Yeah.
Where it's like, talking to guys like you or, other guys and girls in this industry, like if you would have told me 5 years ago that I'd still be doing this, like I would have told you you're out of your mind. And like, I don't know if this is like an ego trip. It probably is because I'm an only child and I like it to be about me. But, like I would have never in a million years thought I'd still be doing this now.
Yeah.
And like realistically, I don't make any money doing this. Like I'm sure there's a way I could, but like for me, this is pure enjoyment. It's not even about
we're both doing a passion project.
Right. Right. And people ask me all the time, like, why do you do it if you don't get paid? And it's like, dude, like the conversations I've been able to have, the people I've been able to meet, the shows I've been able to see, like,
Oh, absolutely.
that's it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Like, would I love to sit at home and do this all day? Hell yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm sure I could.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, if anybody's listening to this and wants to throw some money at the Boots and Whiskey podcast, like we're here for
Yeah,
it.
we need sponsors.
Right,
Boots and Whiskey podcast. We need sponsors.
We do.
I'm working on Chomps. Give a shout out to Chomps.
What's that?
They're beef sticks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have some somewhere.
Are they any good?
Here we go. Well, they're pretty good.
I've never seen those.
Yeah, you got to get some. This
Okay.
is the taco flavor, but I have barbecue as well. They're good, nutritious snack.
Yeah.
High in protein.
I would
Get
love
you
it if
through the day.
Yeah, I would love it if like Ariat wanted to sponsor us or fucking Diet Coke. I don't give a shit.
Absolutely. Diet Coke would be great.
It would be.
I always wanted a Bush sponsorship.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. See, then even Miller Genuine Draft, the champagne of beers. Hell yeah.
Always.
No, that's a good question. So, and my 10-year-old, for some reason, likes to listen to my podcast, which he probably shouldn't. But
well, I'll watch my language then.
No, fuck him. Not fuck him like in a bad way, but like he's my kid. He knows what to expect, right?
They got YouTube these days. They've heard
right.
it.
My son, my 10-year-old could tell me more about shit than I ever wanted to know. But he says to me the other day, we went and saw Lee Bryce. It was his first concert. And we're sitting in the car and he goes, Dad, you have the Boots and Whiskey podcast and you never talk about boots or whiskey ever. And I was like, well, there was a time where we talked a lot about Boots and Whiskey and I just got sick of it.
Yeah.
But like talking about booze and stuff, like do you drink when you're on stage? Because I know some artists don't like at all, it's like it's tea or water or whatever these things are.
That's funny you ask. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll have a drink or two, or depends on the gig, and
sure,
sometimes people bring us shots, but I never drink heavily at all leading up to the show.
Right.
It's very rare. I mean, anymore, it never happens. The show is the most important thing, and then you can let loose afterwards. But
right.
I remember we had this residency at this place in Los Angeles that's closed now. I think it's called the Tavern or something, right when I was starting off, and that's kind of where we cut our teeth. And we would do 3 sets. And I remember going to the bar, and the bartender and I would shotgun a beer and take a shot of whiskey. And then I remember on our 3rd set, I was so wasted. I was just thinking, I just got to get through this. And after that, I never did that again.
Yeah.
Ever. It was a shitty feeling. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it does. And like I've even like covered shows where it's like, I'll have a few too many before. And like I'm just there to take pictures and post shit on Instagram or whatever or the social medias, and I'm like, fuck. Like I'm not in any sorts to be doing this, but I gotta get through it.
Yeah, gotta get through it. And that's a shitty feeling. You want to thrive at what you're doing and feel good about it. And
right.
That's not the case when you're drunk, and you always know when someone's hammered up there.
Right. Oh yeah.
I've seen huge bands when the curtain's drawn back that you're like, oh shit. If I had that sort of platform and that kind of draw, I don't ever want to be like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Having a good time and being hammered is 2 different things.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Like I think the last time I was like super hammered for a show, I wasn't I was there to do the thing, but it was Brantley Gilbert, and I had some friends that are in his camp that had me out and all that stuff, and like we were backstage drinking in a green room, and like when you're back there, everything is take what you want,
Yeah.
right? And I drank, got out on the floor, and I don't remember anything after that.
Oh yeah.
And those are the nights
that sucks.
it sucked. It sucked.
You're
Like,
wait, what did I do?
what did I do? Exactly.
What did I do?
Like,
What did I didn't do?
right,
Yeah.
right. Like the videos on my phone, the show sounded great, but it was bad. It was rough. Like to the point
Right.
where
you're not enjoying it to the fullest. You know?
right.
Like that.
And
That's
like I know people that pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to go to a show and then drink all day in the parking lot, and it's like, why? Like, what did
it's just their one night to cut loose.
Right.
Especially on the road. That I'm a smaller act, but when the people buy tickets and come to your show, that may be the one thing that they do that week.
Right.
It's like I'm there. So it doesn't matter if there's 25 or 2,500 people. You do the same thing because that's their one night to get out and cut loose and do whatever they want to do.
Right.
And
like, as an artist, though, when you do have a rowdy crowd that is there for just for that kind of reason, is it? I don't want to say disheartening, but is it harder to get through the night because you really just want people to listen?
I think they're listening. I mean, you kind of get off to the same thing, whether they're listening or rocking out or having a good time. I mean, that's kind of why I've enjoyed doing the acoustic stuff on the side. It's like, oh, okay, they know what they're signing up for. They're there to listen and enjoy themselves.
Right.
Very rarely. I mean, there wasn't one show. New York was a little talky during those sets, the whole Whiskey Myers thing, but they're just having a good time.
Right.
It wasn't disheartening or offensive whatsoever. They're just talkative.
Right. And they're there for, New Yorkers are a different breed to begin with.
Oh yeah. I love going up there, man. Brooklyn's fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Because you never get to see that kind of stuff, and that's their norm.
Right.
That's their everyday.
Right.
It's like I don't see this kind of shit ever. Maybe once a year. So I'm like, 2 days, sweet.
Right.
And just taking it all in, sightseeing and watching people. It's a trip.
Now, with you being in St. Louis and re-recording all this stuff, when you said is all this coming out in March?
One of the songs is coming out in March. I'm going to release a song every other month this year, starting in March. And then the acoustic record that I'm cutting now, we're going to put it out in the summer.
Oh, cool. All right.
And if we do 20 songs, it'll be double vinyl, session A, session B kind of thing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's just me in the studio, and then I'm going to have a buddy of mine play steel and dobro on a few of the songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just keep it bare bones.
Yeah. Now, what's the touring schedule looking like for this year?
Yeah, it kicks off in March, and then it's pretty much game on from there. Our first tour is, I think, Southeast, a lot of Texas stuff. That's where I live. And then April, it's out west. And then May, June, it's all mountain states and stuff like that. We need to get back up to the Northeast for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't come when it's so damn cold, Rob.
Yeah, I'm out here building decks in the snow. I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Well, when you get back up here, we'll have to get together and
Definitely.
hang out and talk shop off the record, and
Absolutely. We can talk all kinds of shit.
we can, we can.
We,
But
we can not be as poetic as we are
right,
now.
right. We can be a little more off the cuff. Like as I'm
Yeah.
sure. I mean, at this point in your career, kind of like what we like. We could write books about the shit.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
and
I mean, you hear all kinds of stories, and then being on the road, it's a bunch of gossiping hens.
I bet.
You got.
I bet.
That's one thing I learned. You got to be careful what you do.
Right. And I tell everybody, like, as long as there's, as long as we're not in a podcast setting, like, you can tell me anything. I don't give a fuck. Like, it stays there,
Yeah.
like, because trust me, I could I could talk for days about the shit I've seen and heard.
I wouldn't even ask you because
Right.
then we're a part of it.
Exactly.
Then we're a part of the
And
gossip and this.
right. And like, you know what? I don't mind not talking about it because it's like it builds trust, right?
Totally.
And like that's all that this is about. Like,
Yeah.
and that's it. I want people to have a good time when they're around me and know that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas. Yeah.
You
Why, you got anything juicy you want to tell me?
Oh, I could.
Just
I could tell you a lot of juice.
I don't even want to know.
No, I don't blame you. And it's a lot of it is like I see and hear shit and I like just smile and laugh and I'm like, because it's like you don't realize, when you're outside, outside of it, you don't realize how quote unquote normal people are.
Definitely.
Like, I've been in rooms with people that are, that have had number one hits and it's like, oh, you're just a normal person. Like,
yeah.
And that's it. And it makes it a lot easier.
Right.
Like perfect example, even on this show, like we had Cody Jinks and I was nervous as all hell to talk to Cody.
Yeah.
And once he got on and just started talking, it was like,
it's totally normal. Yeah.
Totally normal. Like we had known each other for years and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But all right, brother. We'll go back to rocking and rolling and kicking ass, and we'll talk soon. And anytime anytime you want to come back when things are going on, just fucking shoot me a text. I'm here.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right,
let's talk in March.
Sounds good.
All right, brother. Thanks for having me on.
See ya.
See you, man.
Well, there you have it, guys. Rob Leines. Absolutely incredible conversation, man. Like I love when guys, girls, whatever, full bands are just out there fucking grinding away. And Rob is just doing that and he's doing it well. And, his music's fantastic. If you haven't heard Rob Leines, go check him out. Man, you're doing your disservice if you haven't, honest to God. That's it. These intros and outros are starting to be short and sweet to the point because the content of the matter is what matters. Next week we have Tennille Arts is here on the program. And that's it, man. So cheers. Stay tuned next week. Tennille Arts. She's got some new music coming out next week. So have her on here and shooting the shit about it. So till next time, guys, be good to each other. Keep those boots on the ground whiskey in the glass. Holy shit. You know what? When I'm recording this, it's Sunday night. I'm tired. It was a long weekend. All right, guys. We'll see you next Monday. Cheers.